data logging card in here, and it's got an LDR_sys folder on it. That needs to be deleted. If we don't delete that, that is what's causing that message that keeps coming up asking you if you want to go back to an old database. Because the system sees that file and it contains the old database, so it wants to know if you want to use it. How it's getting there, I do not know. Something's happening with the system that it is writing that to there, because it's very possible that that will come back again.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to take this data logging card out, eject it, and we'll set that here for good safekeeping, and that'll go back into the airplane.
Okay.
Now, I've got this card which we're going to put the new database on.
That's what you brought with you.
This is the one I brought with.
Right.
This is going to be for the nav database.
Okay.
I'm going to put that in. I'm going to format it because I want this one to start empty.
But we're not going to have that card. That's your. How do we? Do we have to
You'll
format our own?
You'll have to get your own.
Okay. And we can do that at Garmin's website or something?
No, you don't do it just like I'm doing now. This is how you format it.
Oh.
I'm just doing the format, which basically is erasing it back to nothing. So I'm going to start with an empty card.
You got to that by right-clicking it?
Right-clicking, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to go to the Fly Garmin website. And I had sent out the instructions for how to do this. I can send them directly to you if you need. So then from the Fly Garmin website, there's a login, which the information to log in can be found in the document that I've been sending around. I'll just bring it up so you can see where this is all coming from. Okay, so this is the document that I set out, and here is the login criteria. That's the email that goes into the top slot. This is the password, goes in the second one, and then you just click sign in. Okay? Because my computer remembers me, I don't have to sign in. Okay, so once you sign in, you'll come to a screen that looks like this. You may see all of these airplanes. All kinds of, we're at the end of a cycle, so they all turn as a warning that, hey, there's a new database available. These ones that are red are expired databases that are already expired. Okay, so I'm going to go down and find this airplane, which is what, 837?
Yep, 837 Charlie Papa.
Okay, and here it is. I'm going to click on that, open it up to here. And it says there's updates, 4 updates required, and it was last updated several months ago. So we'll click there. Then we're going to come here and we can just take a quick peek. It looks like nav, airport directory, obstacles, safe taxi. All of those are expired. Base map and worldwide are still good. Looks like somebody updated those back in June. Okay, so now I'm going to click on Install Databases. I've got my blank chip in the system. On this page, I'm going to select Update G1000 for 837 only. Okay, it's got a system here that allows you to pick a whole bunch of airplanes. Maybe that's to dump them to a file to then put them on disks later. So we're going to pick the airplane we're doing. I'm going to update to the next cycle. If I update to the current, it'll expire again in 2 days because there's a new cycle coming out. So I'm going to update ahead, and it's suggesting that I get these. So we're going to do that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this Launch Garmin Aviation Database Manager. If you don't have that program on your computer, you need to get it, and here's the link to get it. It's just an application, a program that will load to your computer, and this is what it does. When I click this, and I say Open Fly Garmin, it'll open up a little program, Fly Garmin for Windows. And it's going to guide me through the process. I'm going to accept this legal stuff. Okay, now it's telling me just follow these instructions. It says insert the navigation data card from the top SD card of your G1000 into your card reader. Then select appropriate drive. Okay, so there it is. It sees that card right now. If I would have taken my data logging card from the airplane and put it in here, that might be how that file is getting on there. At any rate, now I'm going to click OK. This is the navigation card, and it's going to start putting the navigation database on there. Now it wants to put in the supplemental card. Okay, so it's going to put in one of the supplementals. I usually start with the MFD. And I also like to remove this. Oops. Where's my... I like to remove this safely. So I take this out. That's the nav data. It's done. Now I'm going to put in one of the supplementals, just like the program asked. Okay, oops. No, that's my computer looking at it. Okay, so then I'm going to say OK. In fact, it's looking MFD. I'm going to say continue. So it's writing, these other three items are writing to that card. The first one wrote only the navigation. Okay, now, your updates are finished. Please follow, the following updates were done. So we've got the navigation card, we got the supplemental card, both done. I'm going to close this. I'm going to eject that. That's the MFD. I'm going to also then continue, and I'm going to relaunch this. It's asking for another supplemental card. It already, you notice how it didn't ask for nav cards, it's asking for a supplemental. So I'm going to say continue to that. And what that's doing is it's writing the second supplemental one for the MFD, for PFD. Now, there's other ways this can be done. You could write to that card, make a copy on the desktop, and then copy that onto this card. Okay, now it's asking for another navigation card. I know that I don't need to do that because I've already got one. Okay, so I'm going to eject this. Make sure it doesn't get overwritten with navigation data. Okay, PFD, MFD navigation. Okay, and I'm not going to worry about making a second navigation because I've done this many times and never needed it.
Okay.
Now we go to the airplane. Although I do want to check one thing on one of these cards. I want to see. There's that LDR. See that? There's that file they told us to get rid of. Okay. Now that may have been on here from previous because I didn't start with a blank card.
Okay, so
All right. So let's go back to the airplane now and put these cards in.
I'll go around to the left side.
Why don't you go in there?
Putting in the PFD card, bottom slot. Oops, wrong card. This is the PFD card. I'm going to put in the MFD card, bottom slot. And I'm going to put the new navigation card that I made on my own disk in the top. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on the master. Once that boots up, we'll turn on nav 2. Okay, see how it's asking for that? Obstacle. Okay, so it's doing some work. Let's just let it happen. Okay. All right, go ahead and turn on nav 2. Actually, wait a second. Let's wait for this thing to get booted. Okay. All right, go and turn on nav 2.
Avionics.
Avionics 2. Okay, so we'll see some stuff happen over here as it starts doing the update work. Okay, so it's asking us if we want to, this is the one that's asking us if we want to go from June to October. So yes would be the answer to that. And it's working on it. And then it's updating the standby navigation. It says just wait. Taking a lot longer than I'm used to waiting. Of course, I haven't done this plane in a long time. Other people have been doing it. Each plane seems to have its own speed for how fast this goes. The newer ones go really fast.
The oldest 172, the G1000 that we have.
It is. All we can do is wait. Go grab some water. Oh, here we go. Something's happening. Okay, press any key to continue. All right, now it wants to do this, the active navigation, and you double check these. It wants to go from old to new. And we say yes if that's the case. Otherwise, it will default to no. Press any key, we'll just let it run its time here and do its own thing. Okay, so it's doing some stuff here with the data that we put in. Okay, and then this will boot up and we can check the dates on it. Should be good through like October 5th now. Very slow. There it is. Navigation to October 5th. Okay. It's verifying the obstacle data, then it'll give us October 5th there too. Okay? So that tells us everything's done. Now, let's go ahead and shut off the breakers. Shut off bus 2 on that one. And shut off the other one. Now, let's restart it all and see what we get. Okay? Depending on what we get, we'll know what our next step is. And we very likely will get some kind of a message asking us if we want to go backwards. Here it's doing something with the airport directory. And it's doing something over there. I think there's a point where it finishes getting all its work done and then it doesn't pop up those messages. Now, we might get one here. No. No message. But that side's not done yet. Typically, I won't boot up this one until that one's all the way booted. Just kind of the way I like to do it. Okay, according to that, we don't have to do anything else. We're done. That message is not coming up right now. Because we did delete that one file from, well, here's why. We don't have a card in the top. Okay? It's when that LDR sys,
Hit the warning button.
when the LDR sys folder is stuck in the top file, in the top slot, that's when you get that message.
Okay.
And because it's not even in, the card's not even in there now, that's why it's not happening. All your databases are updated October 5.
We don't need a card in that slot.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, we do.
That's the data logger,
Oh, the data logger.
mandated by National.
Oh,
This side.
Okay.
On this side only. Okay, so I think we can shut it down and it's done. And now those cards stay in.
Okay.
Again, those are not the right cards. They're supposed to be Garmin cards. Somewhere along the way, somebody's taken them out. They're sitting on somebody's desk.
All right, end of video.